everyone, I'm Safia, your science teacher. Now I'm going to explain a topic that is motion and time. In this lesson, you are going to learn about the motion, the types of motion, and as well as time and all other things. So here, what is meant by motion? To know the definition of that, let us go with the simple examples. See, motion is a common experience which we observe in our day-to-day life. Regularly, we observe it. Like buses, autos, bullock carts, lorries, birds, cycle, persons moving from one place to another place. All these things are said to be in motion. Here, not only those things, but we ourselves experience the motion when we are walking, running, when we are jumping, etc. And when you are riding a bicycle, you will be in motion. Here, as I said, these are the objects which will move. What about the objects like trees, buildings, electric poles, hoardings? Do you think they'll move from one place to another place? Do you think they move? No, they don't move. That means they are at rest. The objects which move from one place to another place are said to be in motion, whereas the objects which cannot move, which cannot change its surroundings are said to be at rest. So here you can take example as me itself. I am an object, right? My surroundings are this side. Now when I am moving, within 2 seconds I may change my position. See, I am changing my position. I am an object which is changing position in a given time. Then I am said to be at motion. Now I am moving from one place to another place. I am taking some time and as well as my surroundings are getting changed. That is what motion. An object is said to be in motion if there is a change in its surroundings in a given time. So that is called as motion. And in rest, an object is said to be at rest when there is no change in the position with regards to its time. Even though, for example, even though I am giving time for 2 hours, okay, I have let me take example of a tree. Okay, there is a tree here. Okay, I gave, what is the time we require here? For example, I am taking 2 hours of time. Even though I am observing this tree for 2 hours of time, do you think it will change its position? No, it can't change its position. That means the tree is at rest. For example, instead of tree, if I am here and I gave time and someone gave me time, then I am changing my position from one place to the another place. That means I am at motion. My surroundings will be changing in a given time. An object, if it changes its surroundings in a given time, is said to be at motion. An object whose surroundings will not change in a given time is said to be at rest. So this was about motion and rest basic definitions. So you understood about the motion and time, motion. Now we are going to learn about one more thing about the motion. So, and body can be at rest for one set of surrounding and at the same time it can be at motion for other set of surroundings. So a body can be at rest for one set of surroundings and at the same time it can be at motion for the other set of surroundings. So to get a clarity here, I'll take an example. Now you are sitting on a swing. You know swing? You'll be using, you'll be having in the park. You'll be sitting on the swing. We enjoy sitting on the swing. Okay. So if you are sitting on the swing, here. Okay. So someone is sitting on the swing and this is the garden. So let me take this example. So you are sitting here, right? So for this set of surroundings, what is your first set of surroundings to this swing? You are at rest. For this set of surroundings, for one set of surrounding, that is your seat, you are at rest. The same way for the other set of surroundings, you are at motion. That means you are moving forward and backward. That is where. So for the set of surroundings, that is a garden, you are at motion. And for the set of surrounding, that is your seat, you are at rest. This is called the motion is completely depending on the observer. If you are observing the first set of surroundings, you will be at rest. If you are observing the second set of surroundings, you will be at motion. So motion is related to the observer. So what the kind of surroundings is observing, based on that he can say whether a body is in motion or at rest. Motion can be Either it can be uniform motion or it can be non-uniform motion. Uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So what is uniform motion and non-uniform motion? Uniform motion. If an object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, and it is said to be in uniform motion. So let me take a simple example. You have seen the watch. Hands of a watch are the clock. Hands of clock. Let us take example as hands of clock. You'll observe that for every 1 hour, the bigger hand will be changing its position. That is what equal distance it is covering in equal intervals of time. That is what uniform motion. Here in non-uniform motion, let us take example of a butterfly. Butterfly in the garden. Butterfly in the garden. You will observe that butterfly will be moving from one flower to another flower for the sake of nectar. So here is one flower, here is a second flower. Here in the same way we have complete garden of flowers, right? So the first flower, it can be the butterfly is sucking nectar from the first flower and it is going to the second flower. And here we can see the time taken will be equal, but the distance covered will be different. Here it is shorter distance. So in this non-uniform motion, an object covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. Here, uniform motion, an object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. In non-uniform motion, an object covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. So let me take an example to understand about this uniform and non-uniform motion. I am taking two cars, car A and car B. Both of them started, they are going to start the race. That is what 0 seconds, 0 meters. 0 seconds, 0 meters. Now for every 10 seconds you will see there will be change in their speed. So for first 10 seconds the first car is covered 150 meters and the second 20 seconds it has covered 300 meters and the fourth it has covered 450 and the fourth 10 seconds it has covered 600 meters. That means for every 10 seconds there will be uniform, the speed of the car is same. Here you see for 10 seconds it has covered 150 minutes. So for other 10 seconds it has covered more 150. You can do like this, 150 plus 150 it will become 300. That means for 20 seconds it has covered 300 meters. In the same way for 30 seconds it has covered 450. See, you add here 150. So it will become 450. Again for fourth 10 seconds it has covered 150 meters. That means it has covered completely 600 meters in equal intervals of time. The time given was for 10 seconds, right? For every 10 seconds it is covering 150 meters. So this is what car A. Now car B, for first 10 seconds it has covered 50 meters. For second 10 seconds it has covered 90 meters. For third 10 seconds it has covered 180 meters. And for fourth it has covered 300 meters. That means here the time given is same, but the distance covered is completely different here. For first 10 seconds it has covered 50 meters. For second 10 seconds it has covered 90. That means 40 meters it has covered. Unequal. And here time is same, but the distance covered is completely unequal. In this way you can see there are the two cars which got same equal intervals of time, but the distance covered by them is completely different. Car A is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time. So this is the example of uniform motion. Car B is taking bodies covering unequal distance in equal intervals of time. This is the example of non-uniform motion. Did you understand what is motion? Motion can be uniform or it can be non-uniform motion. If a moving body covers equal distance in the equal intervals of time, then it is said to be in uniform motion. If a moving body covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time, then it is said to be in non-uniform motion. Equal intervals of time is given, but the distance covered is completely unequal. This type of motion is said to be non-uniform motion. So here, to understand, let us take some examples. Watch, hands of a watch. For every 60 seconds that will be moving. what second hand, right, minute hand in the same way, so that the hands of a clock are in uniform motion. Whereas other one you can take example like a period, school period. For every 45 minutes one period will be completing. That is what in uniform motion. In the same way for non-uniform motion, you are traveling in a crowded place. You are on the bicycle, you are traveling in the crowded place. So what will happen? Crowded place means more people will be. So for some 5 minutes you can cover some distance. For next 5 minutes you can't cover that much of distance. That is what that means you are in non-uniform motion. A body can be in uniform motion or it can be non-uniform motion. Now here this was about the motion. Now here we have types of motion. There are 3 different types of motion. Translatory motion. First one is translatory motion. So first of all, translatory motion. If an object travels in the same path along with all its parts, then it is said to be in translatory motion. Did you understood? So to understand it clearly, let me take another example. A bus is moving. Okay, bus is moving from point A to point B. So as the bus is moving here, the headlights, the seat, the doors, the window, everything is moving along with the bus. So it is following the same path. All the parts of the moving body are moving in the same path. Then it is said to be in translatory motion. Next, translatory motion is further divided into 2 types. That is here rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. So what is rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion? Translatory motion is what? An object, if all the moving parts of the object moving in a path, either it can be straight or it can be a curved path, then that object is said to be in translatory motion. Translatory motion is divided into 2 types. Rectilinear motion, curvilinear motion. Let me take the example of rectilinear motion. This one itself. A bus is moving from point A to point B with all the parts of it. All the parts of a moving body are moving in the straight line. All the parts of the moving body are moving in the straight line. Then this type of motion is said to be rectilinear motion. Now I have taken a car, okay, which is moving from point A to point B. Okay, it is in the, I can say, track. It is participating in the car race track. So here the car is moving from point A to point B. Okay, but taking all the body parts, all the parts of a moving body moving in the same line. But the line is here curved path. The path followed by this car is here curved path. So this type of motion is said to be curvilinear motion. If a body is moving with if a translatory body moving in the straight line, then it is said to be in rectilinear motion. If a translatory body moving in the curved path, then it is said to be in curvilinear motion. Examples of rectilinear motion. Apple falling from a tree, right, straight from the tree to the ground, rectilinear motion. Okay, and soldiers marching in the parade. How soldiers will be marching? They will be marching a straight line. They won't take curves or something. That is what soldiers are in rectilinear motion. Next, car taking a turn. When it takes right, it can be right or left, but it is following the curved path. So it is curvilinear motion. Did you understand what is translatory motion? Motion is divided into the type that is called as translatory motion. If the moving parts of a body follows the same path, then it is said to be in translatory motion. A translatory moving body if it follows straight line, then it is rectilinear motion. If a translatory body follows a curved line, then it is said to be curvilinear motion. This was our translatory motion. Now we have one more type of motion. We have one more type of motion, that is what? Rotatory motion. Rotatory motion. Now, rotatory motion. Take a ball and rotate it. Okay, that is what here, all the parts of a moving body following the circular path. Then it is said to be in rotatory motion. Take example of blades of a ceiling fan. Ceiling fan you have, right? The blades of the ceiling fan are in rotatory motion because from a fixed point. Here, for example, we have a fan. Okay, if I am drawing a fan here, it has 3 blades. So from a fixed point, they are moving in the circular path. From a fixed point, the object is moving in circular path and it is said to be in rotatory motion. See, all the parts of the body are moving in the circular path itself. So this kind of motion is said to be rotatory motion. Blades of a ceiling fan are in rotatory motion. From fixed point, they are moving in the circular way. From a fixed point, they are moving in the circular way. So this is the example of rotatory motion. One more example you can take is of our moon and the earth. Earth will be at the center and the moon is revolving around the earth. Okay, so what happens here? For example, this is the earth and this is the moon. So how moon is rotating? It is rotating around the earth like this. From a fixed point, it is moving. So this moon is in which motion? Rotatory motion. You can take example of our earth and sun also. Now for example, if it is sun, this is the earth. From fixed point, this earth is moving around the sun. In which path? In circular path. So this kind of motion is said to be rotatory motion. Okay. So next here, translatory and rotatory motion. Can we find both the motions in the one object? Yes, we can find. That is what, not only both, even uniform and non-uniform also you can find here. So take example of a ball. Take a tennis ball and roll it on the ground. You will observe that ball will be following two motions, translatory and rotatory. Moving forward, okay, how all the parts of it will be moving round, they will be moving round. That is what circulatory. And by moving round, it will move forward. Either it can be straight line or it can be curved line. So that is what the object can possess both translatory and rotatory motion. A single object can possess both translatory and rotatory motion. Example is of ball. Okay, you understood? This was about rotatory motion. Now we have another motion. You can take many examples of rotatory motion. Wheels of a bus. How wheels of the bus are moving from fixed point, they will be moving round and round. In the same way, potter's wheel, from the fixed point it is moving round and round. Globe, top, okay, all those are the examples of rotatory motion.